Namaskar everyone and welcome to today's Gita Satsang. So let us get started with the Prarthana. By the Guru's grace and the will of Sri Krishna, we have all assembled for this Gita Satsang. May we have their guidance to be able to learn and adopt the things which will help us to grow spiritually. Let us chant the shlokas. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namostu Te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Ullara Vindaya Tapatra Netra येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्. So with prayers at the lotus feet of the Acharyas, let us start with our shloka for today. So in the last satsang, we had come up to the 7th shloka, where after Krishna tries to shake Arjuna out of his depressed state, Arjuna is again was trying to explain that what he feels about this entire yuddha, why he feels that he can fight, not fight, and all those things. So now we will take up the 8th shloka. This is a continuation of Arjuna speaking. So he is expressing his innermost thoughts and feelings to Krishna. Right? So he says, Nahi prapashyami mama panudyad yachhokamuchoshanam indriyanam Avapya bhuma vasapatna mriddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. So he says, Hey Krishna, I cannot find any means to drive away this anguish which I am going through, and that is drying up my senses. So because of my extreme distress and anguish that this kind of an event has come, my senses, my indriyas are not functioning. And he says, even if I win the prosperous and unrivaled kingdom on earth, now if we win this war, the Pandavas, we are going to be the unrivaled kings. Nobody will be there to oppose us. And so much prosperity we'll have, so much enjoyment we will have. And the biggest, greatest kingdom on this earth, we will have, we will be ruling that. And nobody will be there to question us. But, our status will be just like, very great, or it may even be equal to that of what the devatas have. But still, I will not be able to overcome this grief which I face after having killed my own people. So he's again telling that because of this grief which I'm undergoing, I am not able to function now. My indriyas are not working. I'm not able to understand anything what is happening. I'm not able to understand what to do. And in this state, I'm feeling that even if we fight and win and get rulership of this kingdom, no use. I will not be able to enjoy it. I will not be able to overcome the grief of killing my own people. So here the acharyas say that what are the points in this shloka that we need to note. The first thing is, as Arjuna is telling, he's saying that the deep sorrow what he is having, the anguish that he is having, his emotional distress, that has stopped his indriyas from functioning. So we know the indriyas means the sense organs. So we have organs of sight, we have eyes, we have ears to hear, we have the nose which smells, we have the tongue which tastes, and we have the skin which can feel touch. So Arjuna is saying that all my indriyas are not working. So what has actually happened, because of all this dukkha, this sorrow which Arjuna is undergoing, it has made him paralyzed. He is not able to see anything, he's not able to decide what to do, and because of that he's not able to take any action also. Now Arjuna makes this statement that suppose we win this war and I get rulership of the whole kingdom, even after that I will not be able to be happy, I will only be in dukkha. So what he is saying, he has realized one deep truth, that even if you have material comforts in this world, that alone is not going to give you happiness. Because from our point of view, if we look at what we are looking at the Yuddha, we can say that, okay, of the Pandavas, definitely they're going to win. And after winning, who is there to oppose them? So they can enjoy all that. Now, all these years, they have suffered so much. Now, when they become the rulers, they will only be able to enjoy everything. And nobody will be there to question them or to do anything. So they can have a happy life at least now. That is what many people think. But what Arjuna is saying, that if I kill my own people and we win this war, at what cost are we taking this fighting in this war? At what cost, am I going to live like this? So he says that even if we win, we are not going to enjoy. Why? Because by winning the war, they are going to get material riches. They are going to get whatever is in this Laukik world, in this material world, they will achieve rulership, they will achieve riches, they will achieve status, they will get power, they will be famous, right? They will have all those things. But then Arjuna says that having only that is not going to make me happy, because I will have the grief that I have got this by wrong means, by killing my own people. So that is what Arjuna is indicating here. So it's a good realization that Arjuna has, that just material comfort is not enough to make us happy. And then he's saying that I don't see any way out of this. See, in this place, we have written that I can find no means of driving away this anguish. So he says, I am not able to drive away this. So what some acharyas say is that when Arjuna is saying that I am not able to find the way out of this confusion, then in other words, he is again emphasizing that same thought which he had in the previous shlokas, where he surrendered to Krishna and said, I am like your disciple, you are my guru, so you only have to guide me. So by saying, I don't see any way out, he is inviting Krishna that only you can help me now. So you are the one who has to guide me ahead. So this is about this eighth shloka that we saw. Now we go on to the next ninth shloka. Now Arjuna has said this and he has, expressed his feelings. Now Sanjaya is conveying this, what has happened at this point of time. He is speaking and conveying that situation to Dhritarashtra. So this ninth shloka says, Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva Hrishikesham Gudakesha Parantapa Nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. So the meaning of this shloka is, Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, having said these words, Gudakesha, the one who is Parantapa. Gudakesha is Arjuna's name. Parantapa is also Arjuna's name. So having said all these things, Arjuna, who is Parantapa, who is Gudakesha and Parantapa, what he says, Nayotsya. I am Nayotsyami, actually he says. So I am not going to fight. That is what Arjuna says to Krishna. And the name for Krishna used here is Govinda. And saying this, Arjuna became silent. So this is what Sanjaya is conveying to Dhritarashtra. Now here in this shloka, we have to see what are the significant things. Now this last word, babhuva ha, so that ha is the word which Sanjaya is using to express his shock or to express his surprise. Now what is the reason why Sanjaya is surprised? Because as he has been listening to this conversation, he has come to realize that this Arjuna, which Arjuna, he is using those two names there. He is saying this Arjuna who is Gudakesha, this Arjuna who is Parantapa. Such a great person is saying he will not fight. He is the person who is the most fit to fight. And this person is saying he's not going to fight. Oh, what a surprise it is. Like that, Sanjaya is expressing. We have seen these names of Arjuna called Gudakesha and Parantapa in the previous satsangs, when previously in the shlokas these names appeared. So we know that Gudakesha means somebody who has conquered sleep. And that quality of having conquered sleep means the person has overcome tamoguna or tamasic qualities. So that means the person is very knowledgeable. They are not in the mode of ignorance. They are not having tamasaguna. And Parantapa. Parantapa is the one who is the destroyer of enemies. So Arjuna has these two qualities. So Sanjay is actually trying to convey that Arjuna is such a great person. I'm sorry, I have to just go open the gate. So I will just mute for a minute and I'll come back. Yeah. Sorry about that disturbance. We can continue. So this Arjuna, who is not in tamasic mode, who has conquered even sleep, he is such a highly sattvic person. And he is Parantapa. He is the one who is definitely going to destroy all the enemies. He has such great capabilities. He's such a Veera Shura, great warrior. So such a person is saying he will not fight. Now, what has gone through Dhritarashtra's mind when Arjuna has been saying that I will not fight? We can imagine. We saw in the very first shloka of the first chapter how Dhritarashtra was asking that what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do after coming onto the battlefield? So we saw in that shloka that what was the hope in Dhritarashtra's heart, that something should happen and the Pandavas should not fight. Something should happen and his sons should win. That was always the hope in Dhritarashtra's heart. Now, when this Dhritarashtra, with this hope that his sons should win and Pandavas should go away from the war, if he hears Arjuna saying that I'm not going to fight, you can imagine the kind of happiness that he will be having, isn't it? And sensing this happiness of Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya is purposely, intentionally, he is using these names for Arjuna. Why? Because he is again trying to convey that this Arjuna is not any ordinary person. Even if he is saying at this moment that he doesn't want to fight, but he is Gudakesha and he is Parantapa. Not only that Arjuna is Gudakesha and Parantapa, but Krishna is Hrishikesha. We have seen in the previous shlokas that this name Hrishikesha means the one who is the controller of the senses. So Krishna is the master controller of the senses. Whose senses? Everybody's senses, including Arjuna's senses, isn't it? So when that is the case, now he knows that he's trying to convey, Sanjay is trying to say, this Krishna. Now Arjuna is saying that my indriyas are not working, my senses are not working, I don't know what to do, I'm totally confused and I'm not going to fight. So will that Hrishikesha be quiet in such a situation? Definitely not. He is going to make sure that he controls Arjuna's senses. He will help Arjuna to gain mastery over his senses, to regain his lost confidence, and he is going to make sure that they win. So by using these words Gudakesha and Parantapa for Arjuna, and by calling Krishna as Hrishikesha, what Sanjaya is doing, he wants to destroy the hope in Dhritarashtra's heart that maybe after all the war will not happen. So he's trying to tell Dhritarashtra that don't think, don't rejoice, and don't feel happy thinking that the war will not take place. Don't feel happy hoping that imagining that your sons are going to win and the Pandavas will be having nothing. Don't feel happy about that, because very soon Krishna is going to start speaking and he is going to help Arjuna regain whatever confidence he has lost, and then definitely the end of your sons is going to take place. So the Acharya says that by using these particular names for Arjuna as well as for Krishna, Sanjaya is trying to convey this message indirectly to Dhritarashtra. Now here in this shloka again we see that the name for Krishna which is used is Govinda. Now, often this name of Govinda is really very powerful. Often we find that this name appears wherever we want to indicate the Lord's love for his devotees. And we all know, we have all been to Tirupati. Wherever any, whenever any person goes to Tirupati, all along, all the pilgrims who are going there, all the yatrikas, what they do, they say Govinda's name, isn't it? Whenever we are going on a journey somewhere, we start our journey by chanting the name of Govinda. Whatever work we are doing, it is very common to always chant Govinda's name. Whichever temple you go to, people will keep chanting Govinda name, right? So whenever there is a Rathotsava, when there is a chariot festival of the temple, it is very common to hear the chants of Govinda. Now there are different meanings for this name of Govinda because Go means different things. Right. Now, one of the meanings of Govinda is Go means Bhumi, the earth. So somebody who gives pleasure to the earth is Govinda. Go also means cows. So somebody who goes behind the cows, somebody who is very happy in the company of cows is Govinda. Somebody who protects the cows is Govinda. Right. Like this, we can have different meanings. Now, Go also means speech. And Govinda means somebody who is an expert in speech. So here again, by calling Krishna as Govinda, Sanjay is trying to say that this Govinda, who is expert in talking, he is going to talk in such a way that his expertise in speech, his Vak Chaturyam, will make Arjuna regain whatever confidence he has lost. All that grief what Arjuna is feeling, that will all go away. How? Because this Govinda is going to speak in an expert manner to convince Arjuna. And once this Govinda has spoken, Arjuna is going to feel inspired and motivated and he is going to fight. And once that fight happens, then Dhritarashtra, definitely the destruction of your sons is going to happen. It is guaranteed. So in this shloka, although it seems superficially that it is only a Sanjaya conveying that, okay, spoke after speaking like this, Arjuna sat down quietly and he said, I am not going to fight, and he fell silent. So that is what is told in the shloka. But the deeper meaning, as the Acharyas explained, there is so much that actually Sanjaya is trying to convey indirectly to Dhritarashtra. Okay. Then we go over to the 10th shloka, continuing. So now what has happened? Arjuna has said his part. Sanjaya has conveyed what Arjuna has spoken, and Arjuna has fallen silent. So now Sanjaya is continuing to express what is happening next. He is conveying to Dhritarashtra what happened next after Arjuna fell silent. Okay, so this shloka. Tamuvacha Hrishikesha prahasanniva bharata senayorubhayor madhye vishidantamidam vachaha. O Dhritarashtra, in the middle of both the armies. Again, this word, Senayor Rubhayor Madhye. It came at the beginning when Arjuna told Krishna that put me in between the two armies. There also he had said, Arjuna had told Krishna, take me to the middle of both the armies. Now Sanjaya is conveying, by using those same words, Sanjaya is conveying, in the middle of both the armies. What happened? Krishna, with a smile, smilingly, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. This Arjuna, who is in a highly depressed state, with a gentle smile on his face, Krishna spoke these words, the following words to Arjuna. So what Krishna spoke, we will take up next time. Now this verse again, this shloka, seems like a very simple thing that Sanjaya is conveying to Dhritarashtra that standing in the middle of both the armies, Krishna smilingly talked something to Arjuna. But the acharyas read a lot of meaning into this shloka, and it is important for us to understand what is that. The most important thing we need to catch is why Krishna is smiling. Okay, now there are about 7 reasons which the acharyas give for explaining why Krishna is smiling. What is the shloka? That standing in the middle of both the armies, With a smile on his face, Krishna spoke to Arjuna. How is Arjuna? He's totally grief stricken. He has just sat down dejected. He is depressed. He is not ready to fight. He has lost, he is like paralyzed. He is not able to take any action. He is not able to know what to do. He is in total confusion. And to such an Arjuna, Krishna smiles and speaks. So, what is the significance of this smile of Krishna? We all know whenever we go to the temples, we can see that the Lord's face, if you look at the face of the Lord in almost all the temples, there is a mild, gentle smile that is hidden in the face of the Lord. So here in this place, why is that smile there on Krishna's face? So the first reason the Acharya says, maybe he is smiling with sarcasm, with as if he's kind of making fun of Arjuna. Why? Because now after everything is ready to fight, Senayor Rubayor Madhye, in the middle of standing in the middle of two armies, now Arjuna is refusing to fight. So Krishna is trying, maybe thinking that what was this Arjuna doing when all along we were talking about the fight? What was Arjuna doing when I went as a Duta to ask and beg for, giving at least 5 villages? What was Arjuna doing at all those times when all our side army people were coming and their army was gathering? After all this time, after everything has been prepared, now this Arjuna is refusing to fight. So with that thought, maybe Krishna is smiling. The second reason why Krishna is smiling is because he can make out that there is such a contradiction in the attitude of Arjuna. This same Arjuna, when Draupadi was being insulted in the Sabha, he was so angry. He said, I will fight against these people. I will definitely destroy all of you. He was so full of anger and he was bent on avenging the insult of Draupadi. But now, this same Arjuna, standing in front of the army, standing in front of those very people whom he wanted to destroy, he's saying that I have only compassion and karuna for these people. And what kind of people are those? They are people who are undeserving of that karuna. So, what a contradiction in the attitude of Arjuna. At that time, he was so angry. But see now how he has become? He is having compassion for those who don't deserve that compassion. So, maybe that is the reason why Krishna is smiling. Third, we saw in the previous verse how when Arjuna spoke, he said that I think of me as your disciple. Shishyasteham shadimam tuam prapannam. I'm surrendering to you. I have become your disciple. So thinking that all along Arjuna was only his friend. And now Arjuna, this Arjuna who was his friend has become his disciple. So maybe the Lord is having a smile thinking of that change in the position of Arjuna. Fourth, now Krishna knows that he is going to tell Arjuna certain very deep truths, which are the essence of all Vedanta. And he wants to make sure this subject topic is going to be not very easy to understand. It is going to be quite difficult. So he wants to make sure that his body language gives some amount of comfort to Arjuna so that Arjuna feels like listening to the whatever Krishna is going to tell. We also know many times whenever we have been students, we know how the attitude of the teacher, the face of the teacher, the body language of the teacher makes a lot of difference to how we perceive that topic. If somebody has a very, sour face, or somebody is very monotonously talking and just looking into the book and telling, or somebody is in a rude way they are talking, then the students are not likely to feel interested in that discussion. They are not likely to feel that, yes, this is something easy, I can understand, I want to learn this. But if the teacher is approachable, if the teacher is smiling, if the teacher has, gestures and indicates that by smiling at the students, then the students are more likely to feel better about studying that topic. So similarly, now what is this topic? Who is this teacher? It is Krishna himself. What is the topic he is going to talk? It is the great, what you say, the very essence, the truths which have come, which are apaurushaya, which have no creator. They have come from ages and they are the very essence of Sanatana Dharma. So he's going to talk about all this. What a deep topic it is. So Krishna wants to make sure that Arjuna does not feel that, oh, this is something beyond me. It is very difficult. So if he looks at the smiling face of Krishna, he is more likely to feel that, yes, this is something I want to learn. This is something I can master. So that is the reason why Krishna is smiling. Then the Acharya say further, now Arjuna has said that I am like your disciple. And He has accepted that he is going to be just a puppet, and the person who is going to control the strings is uh, Krishna. So Arjuna has accepted this situation. So now Krishna feels that yes, I can do whatever is best for Arjuna. So Arjuna is only going to act as per my wish, as per my will. So Arjuna is now not having to do anything, but I am the one who is going to control this outcome. So with that thought, Krishna is smiling. Acharya says. Similarly, further, the Acharya say that now Krishna knows that he is going to start telling the Gita Shastra. So this great Shastra, which is going to be like a guiding light to the entire world, Krishna is going to reveal that through Arjuna. And he knows that if with this Gita Shastra, with the great lessons which the Gita is going to teach to the world, there is so much knowledge that will be given to the world. There is so much guidance that everybody can get from the Gita. And it is going to be so very relevant and useful that even if the Lord doesn't take avatara again, it doesn't matter, because this Gita only will guide everybody in the world. So thinking that he is now about to reveal this great Shastra to the world, he is smiling, right? Then the Acharya say that now already we have come to about, somewhere in the middle of the second chapter. So there are still some 600 odd shlokas. We know the entire Bhagavad Gita is made up of 700 shlokas. So there are some 600 odd shlokas yet to be come, right? And Arjuna has to understand this. But how is Arjuna going to understand it? Is it only by hearing with his ears? No. Krishna is going to be making gestures. Krishna is going to be explaining very emphatically by emphasizing some point, by stopping, by pausing here, by giving a gap there. So by observing all this, there is still so much which I'm going to speak, and Arjuna is going to hear it and understand all this. So Krishna is smiling. And then also the Acharya says maybe Krishna is laughing because he is the knower of everything. He also, although he is not sitting next to Dhritarashtra and he has not heard Dhritarashtra's question, but he knows what is the hope in the heart of Dhritarashtra. So he is actually having the last laugh. He is laughing at the plight of Dhritarashtra, who is imagining that, okay, maybe Arjuna won't fight and my sons will actually win and rule over the kingdom. So he is having the last laugh on Dhritarashtra and his evil sons. So with that thought in his mind that you are foolish to believe such things, he is smiling. So these are all the reasons which are given by the acharyas for why Krishna is smiling. Why is it told in the shloka that smilingly Krishna spoke the words to Arjuna? So what words Krishna spoke, we will take up in the next satsang. But for today, from all these shlokas that we have seen, we need to understand what is the message for us. Firstly, from the status of Arjuna, right? He is worried. And because of that worry, he says, I am paralyzed. I am not able to realize what to do. So this teaches us that at any point of time, if we give in to anxiety, if we get totally, stressed out with the things around us, then our mind will stop functioning. And not being able to take the right action can always cause a great damage. So many times it is told that there are two words. One is chinta and one is chitta. So chinta means worrying over something and chitta means a corpse or a dead body. So it's just a small difference, isn't it, between chinta and chitta. But doing too much of chinta can lead to the live human being turning into chitta. So worry can lead to death. In fact, nowadays also we have so much medical research that is going on, which talks about the role of stress in so many of the physical ailments, in so many mental illnesses also. And those can actually, that too much of stress can actually cause ill health, which can lead to death. So, what we can learn from this situation of Arjuna is that, as he says, that because I'm so much in grief and he's in so much stress and distress, that is why he is not able to function. So, the way to not get into that kind of a state is to stop worrying so much about things. Now, he says that material comfort will not give me happiness, isn't it? We talked about how Arjuna has realized that even if we win in this war and we get all the comforts, we are not going to be happy. Then what is it that will give us true happiness? We already saw in some previous satsangs that getting closer to God, who is the source of happiness, that is what will give us true happiness. So when we are in trouble, what did Arjuna do when he was in trouble? He realized that I am not able to handle this. So what did he say? I can't find a way out. Oh Krishna, you have to help me. I'm surrendering to you and you have to guide me and lead me ahead. So in the same way, when we are in any kind of trouble, when we are in some kind of difficulty and we are not able to realize what we should be doing, then we must remember to turn to God. In the starting stage, we will turn to God when we are in trouble. Gradually, we will realize that turning to God at all times will keep us in such a way that we will never perceive any kind of trouble in our life. Right? Then, about the smiling form of the Lord. Even in the temple, whenever we go, if we look carefully, it will appear as if the Lord has a subtle smile on his face. Why is he smiling? Maybe because he thinks that I am the one who is controlling whatever is happening in your life, but you don't realize it. You think you are in charge, or you think that you are going to do this by XYZ thing, and you are coming here and begging me, give me this, give me that, give me that. But I am the one who is actually in control, and you don't realize it. So maybe that is why he has a smile. So, what is that kind of smile on the Lord's face what we should expect? Or should we hope that he should have a smile on his face saying that, okay, you have come to me. You have come to me realizing that you have no other alternative, that I am the one who is going to take care of you. When that, do we want the Lord to smile with that kind of a smile? Definitely yes. So we must turn to God at all times and make sure that he has a smile to welcome us. Now, Krishna is ready to take all kinds of positions in our life. But what is it that he's waiting for? He's waiting for us to ask for his help, to ask for his guidance. He's sitting silently within us. He's Antaryami in all of us. And what is he waiting for? He's waiting for us to ask for his help. Even if we don't ask for the Lord's help, at least we must not turn away from him. Right? This is another thing which the Acharyas tell, that this name Govinda, we saw previously that he is an expert in speech, and that is what is conveyed by Govinda. But as we said, Govinda is the one who always walks behind the cows and calves. Why is he walking behind the cows and calves? Because he loves them. And why he is able to continue walking behind them? Because they don't stop him. They don't say, why are you coming behind us? We will go on our own. We will manage by ourselves, isn't it? But we, human beings, we have this quality of dvesha. We say, I will manage. I will take care. I don't need God. I don't need anybody else, right? But if, like the cows and calves, we cultivate the quality of advesha, not turning away from the Lord when he approaches us, not hating the Lord. If we have this quality, then just like the Lord walks behind the cows and calves, he will always be coming along with us. And when we do this, that is the minimum thing we can do to get the mercy of the Lord. We don't need to be great bhaktas. We may not be able to be great bhaktas. We may not be able to actively ask him for help all the time. But if we just have this quality that I am going to welcome the Lord into my life, I am not going to push him away, I am not going to stop him from doing good to me, then that quality itself, that advesha, is what will attract Govinda towards us. And that is all that we need to know. That is the minimum that we have to do to be able to get the mercy of the Lord. So with that, we have come to the end of our satsang for today. We have seen all these shlokas and we have understood that now everything is ready. It's like the mic has been set up. Everybody is sitting and waiting. Arjuna has fallen silent. Sanjaya has conveyed to Dhritarashtra what has happened. And now the stage is all set for Krishna to start speaking. So in our next satsang, we will start from that point. What is it that Krishna teaches Arjuna and tells us through the next shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita? So now onwards, most of the talking is going to be done by Krishna. And just like Arjuna listens and asks questions, it is also our role to listen, to understand, and to adopt in our life. So we'll take that up from the next satsang onwards. We will stop here for today and we will end by offering Kritagnyata. So let us offer Kritagnyata, gratitude, at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and Guru for inspiring us to start and join this satsang. Let us pray for their blessings and grace to always be on us. Thank you everybody for attending the satsang. We will meet again next Tuesday. Namaskar. If anybody has any questions, yeah, I think we may run out of time or my laptop may hang up. So I will stop here. But if anybody has any questions, then please feel welcome to send it to me in the group. There's already some pending questions I have. We will try to answer those in the next class. And if anybody has any more new questions, then please send to me on WhatsApp and we will take up those questions. So we'll stop here for today. Thank you, everybody. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar.